It's International Women's Day, a day that I celebrate annually. This is the day where we pause and we reflect and we give high commendations to women. We've shattered the glass ceiling. We have really done some powerful and radical things in all of the spaces where we occupy. Most recently, I was asked to be a mentor for a phenomenal set of young ladies. And for the first time, when I was asked to share my story, I didn't feel like talking about the successes, the achievements, the end product, the final result. The reality is, we have been in so many different spaces. We've done well. Most of us, we don't look like what we have gone through. For the first time, I felt like sharing the hard stories, the stories that don't make headlines, the stories that have become buried in so many women because they're just not fortunate or privileged enough to share these stories. Today, International Women's Day, I speak on behalf of these women. One of the stories that I shared with these young people is that we as women, we don't network enough. We stay in our silos and we work hard and we are top performers and high performers on our jobs. Yet, we get overlooked for promotions. We get overlooked for opportunities simply because we didn't network on the golf course. This is our reality. Opportunities come, but we're not in a position to exploit them because somehow we think hard work alone is going to get us there. I've seen men utilize these opportunities to become dominant in workspaces. And I have gone home to ask myself, what am I doing wrong? What are so many other women doing wrong? We fail to network. So we become isolated and we think that our stories are so unique and there aren't other women who are experiencing the very same things. We lack community. I've watched women in various spaces with the capacity and influence to positively shift, to positively change the trajectory of another woman. And they failed to do so for reasons of self-advancement. I want to say today that you're watching me and you're listening to me. If you are in a position to help another woman, genuinely help her. We are all out here rooting and cheering for the next woman to assume the powerful positions with the intention that they would stretch the ladder to pull another woman up. Each time you fail to make a move, each time you fail to help another woman, each time you lift the ladder up when you get to the top, you are failing the community of women who are relying on you. Let us put aside the pettiness. Let us put aside the trivial things that don't matter. Believe it or not, we are being observed by our colleagues. We are being observed by those who hold the spaces. And those at the top who make the decisions, with the very few women at the top, they get into their little spaces and they don't tell you, they don't tell us as women that they think that we're petty, that we're trivial, that we can't maintain the big picture. We need to put those things aside to achieve the big picture. What's the use of advancing yourself without advancing someone else? What impact would you have made? What's your legacy going to be? As I continue to share my story with these phenomenal young people, I could sense that they were awestruck. I could sense that they too had gone through some things. I could sense that they felt relieved that I too had gone through the struggle. They could relate. They could relate, which tells me that we have a problem. We do not collaborate enough as women. And for this International Women's Day, I want us to focus primarily on collaborating with each other for the sake of the advancement of the community of women. I have other Caribbean sisters holding powerful positions, making a mark in their respective countries. And sadly, they have had to hear on the radio, television, and in private WhatsApp conversations that the reason why they've gotten to the top is because they've slept their way to the top. I am talking about women, upstanding women with multiple degrees, with strong capacity, with amazing potential, have had to learn that the reason why they got to the top, it wasn't because of the sweat, the tears, the hard work, the courage, the perseverance, and their upbringing, but it's because they slept their way to the top. However, we don't make these comments about our male colleagues. Somehow, they have genuinely worked their way to the top. Today is a good day to give women who work hard the recognition. Unfortunately, we are the enemies of our own sisters and colleagues in the various spaces we occupy, not the others as we often so want to blame. We are our own worst enemies. Let's commit to fixing it this International Women's Day. Sometimes when we come out successful on the end of these harrowing experiences, we have a difficult choice to make. Do I become bitter or do I become better? I have decided consciously, deliberately, and intentionally to become better. And what does becoming better looks like? Releasing the difficulties, the struggles of the past, not allowing failures to get to my heart, to genuinely show up for another woman, whether she is in need or not, to genuinely compliment a woman, even though she may have greater strengths than I possess, to genuinely meet another woman in the street and say, "Hey girl, you do look fantastic today." It takes nothing off of me to help another woman. It takes nothing off of me to tell another woman, "Hey girl, you are powerful. You are amazing. Keep doing what you are doing." Today, I am excited about this very special International Women's Day, where I get to talk to you and to speak to you and to encourage you to become better. Show up for your sister. Encourage her. If you see perhaps that she's going the wrong way, instead of gossiping about your sister, instead of trying to make life more difficult for her, ask yourself, how can I show up to make the life of another woman better? I encourage you all this International Women's Day to be the best version of yourselves. Collaborate, network, form a community of women. There's so many waiting to see us at the top and to put the ladder down to bring them up as we go forward. Happy International Women's Day.